Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 37 of our Journeyman series here on Football Coach College Dynasty. Now, don't adjust your TV. Nothing is wrong with your computer. You see it right. We are the new head coach at Alabama after doing everything we could possibly accomplish at Fresno State. 8 years, eight Mountain West championships, seven playoff appearances, including two national championship titles. We have left Fresno State and signed a brisk 5-year contract at Alabama for $10 million a year, locking us in to one of, if not the best team in the country. And what an exciting time it is to be at Alabama because we have 15 players transferring and 10 players being cut. It's a little bit of a remodel of this Alabama roster. So, first things first, we're going to go through that, the players that are leaving this program. Then we will go through the transfer portal itself. We don't have a lot of needs. We also don't have a lot of money, which I'll get to in a moment. And then we will start the preseason. I'll do a little bit of recruiting and then stop there, and we will leave the rest off stream. But first things first, I just want to say thank you to all those of you that continue to watch these episodes. The views have kind of tapered off, but they're staying at a fairly consistent level. So if you are continuing to watch, thank you. Please remember, like, subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, give me a follow as we continue through this Journeyman series, now at our third stop. And definitely our most high profile one. But first things first, let's talk this roster. So, of the three players that we're declaring for the draft, the only one I could convince to stay was safety Mark Carr. Now, the reason I convinced him is fairly obvious. He has a 97 overall and 119 zone coverage and 96 tackling. And that's before he gets a final development boost. He could legitimately be the best defender in the country. He is also a safety, which historically doesn't really pad the stat sheet, but he's done really well for Alabama, especially in coverage. So keeping him for one more year, perfectly fine. As far as what we did to keep him, I promised him we would win the whole thing. We could, you never know. But one of the wrinkles that I've run into with regards to the players transferring and keeping them here is that our NIL money is currently zero. We are getting 1.3 million from players leaving with NIL contracts still working. However, my eagle-eyed self has realized two things. One, the math literally doesn't add up. Because it says that Alabama started with 21 million in NIL money, and they've committed 16 million to recruits that have already committed. And then it says they have 15 million outstanding NIL offers to recruits. Now, at first, I thought that meant that there are 15 recruits out there that are unsigned that they've offered 15 million to, which is insane. But the other part of me thinks that 15.3 just rolls into that 16, but then I'm missing $5 million. I don't really know. We ran into an issue when I joined Fresno State that when I join a new school, it seems like the target list gets completely wiped out. So any of the recruits that have not committed, they're just gone from the target list. And so I had to go in and physically find these players when I started at Fresno State. I assume the same will be true. Famously, if I can look at my integrity really quick, all right, it doesn't track it that far back, but when I started at Fresno State, I think I lost 7 integrity from having to revoke offers to recruits that included NIL money just to get some of that back. And I will have to do that again because currently we have 14 scholarship spots open and $0 to get transfer players in the building, which will get pretty tricky. But first, let's talk about the players transferring. So there are 17 players that wanted to transfer. At the moment, I am only keeping 2 of them because I can't promise money. So the only thing I can promise is playing time or, a number of targets for wide receivers or a number of games for kickers, so on. I am letting 15 of these guys go. Really, the big positions that are being hurt by this, first one is corner. Similarly to the Fresno State situation, all the depth corners want to leave. I'm fine with that. We have Jesus Frazier, could be Jesus, but let's go with Jesus. Up top, we have a true freshman in Trevor Lucas, who is already 102 man coverage. He's going to play. A couple guys that are going to be seniors. So I'm not too worried about the succession plan. So David Simon, Ricardo James, and Rylan McQueen, who the latter of whom is a 5-star recruit, by the way, are all going to transfer. And that does only leave me with 7 corners. And I would ideally like to redshirt Damian Wade and Ezekiel Terrell. So we'll see. I do have a plan to move a couple or maybe one of these top 4 safeties to corner just to cover that a little bit. The other position that is getting hit kind of hard by the transfers is quarterback. There are 8 quarterbacks on Alabama's roster. I don't know how, I don't know why, but there is so much NIL money invested in these guys that are like mid 70 overall D potential that it legitimately hurts me. So quarterback, the starting QB is Sawyer Cox. He's going to be a senior next year. That's locked in. The backup QB is Michael Roos, who in and of itself, he's pretty good. He has 89 arm strength, 101 accuracy. However, he's not going to be the starter next year. And Sawyer Cox is objectively better. So my one idea was if I just cut Sawyer and promise Roos the starting job, then I've locked in a potential future QB. But my priority is to win immediately. And I think Sawyer Cox helps me with that so much more. So to that end, Michael Roos is going to transfer, as is 5-star redshirt freshman Saul Estrada, who hasn't really developed, only has C potential. Same thing with Ibrahim Hutton, who has D plus potential in and of itself. My succession plan at QB is obviously Sawyer Cox starts a year, and then Jesse Funk needs, in all caps, to get some passing boost. He has 77 arm strength, 67 accuracy, and an even worse IQ. My hope is that he gets a big development hit. If he doesn't, we're kind of in trouble. Emmanuel Cole redshirted this past year. He's in a similar boat, but it's not the cleanest room in the world. To that end, I forgot to cut Colby Baylor. So that makes 11 players being cut. And I know that cutting walk-ons doesn't free up scholarships, but it does go into the talent equation, and a 66 overall QB would drop that number quite a bit. So I am letting 15 players transfer. Most of them are depth guys that didn't get a lot of playing time. Also, most of them are redshirt freshmen. Really young players that just never got playing time in their first year of eligibility, and this is where we stand. I have promised to keep 2 of them, and both of them are running backs. Firstly, Jackson Conrad, who is a balanced running back that is already really good. He has 93 ball care vision, 82 ball security. He also has a potential. He is going to be our number one or number two running back, depending on how the transfer portal goes. I like him a lot. Ideally, at Alabama, your starting running back, you would like that speed to be a little higher, but he's got good potential. He can be solid. And then I'm also keeping Caesar Dixon, who is your classic power back, 90 ball security, 83 strength, 90 pass blocking. He is just a really solid running back that I think would be a great third option, especially on short yardage situations. The other two top running backs I am letting go. Redshirt freshman Mark Cummins is in a similar boat to Conrad, and I am banking on Conrad's potential because A versus D plus. It's a big swing. And then Raymond Howe, who is just not very athletic and has C minus potential. Aaron Middleton also could potentially be in the mix. He's another power back, but Dixon is objectively better, and so it kind of gets awkward there. But he did redshirt last year. I also plan on redshirting JUCO Gage Jacinto. Hopefully, he won't rage and threaten to quit. But yes, for those of you doing math at home, we have an 8-man running back room before I even add anyone, which is why I had to cut guys like Ty Madrano and Chenna Gornaga to cut the room down to size. So these are the players transferring. Like I said, lots of depth options. A couple, low 80s, high 70s overall guys, but nothing really too crazy. We are getting some NIL money back, like I mentioned before. Now, let's talk about cuts. So, cuts are very simple. These are either players with bad potential that wouldn't play or walk ons. I am cutting all 4 of the walk ons that were on this squad. 1 to balance the talent out, and 2 to make the depth charts look a little cleaner. The big cut I'm making is redshirt freshman wide receiver Jaden Bryant, who has 80 overall, 94 speed. He's a speed demon. Problem is, this is the wide receiver room. I have, it takes 4 wide receivers for the overalls to even dip below 85. 3 of them are going to be seniors next year. However, we got sophomore David Sheffield, who can't catch a ball, but he's got the speed. True freshman Marvin Wall is going to come in. I'm likely going to redshirt him because he would be our 6th wide receiver at that point. And we got some younger guys like Adrian McNeil that I think can be solid once he learns how to catch. Carson Tam got the speed, got the catching, can't do anything else. Are you sensing a theme with how Alabama's safeties are constructed? One big difference in how I recruit and stuff versus the AI is I value potential a lot. Alabama, not so much, where a lot of these guys that are in the 80s in terms of overall have like D or F potential. They were just that good as recruits and kind of went from there. It's a nice luxury to have. So, all that said, we're letting 15 players transfer, cutting 11 players, and having our scholarship set at 71. So, that is where we stand. Let us advance to the draft. Obviously, for Alabama players being drafted doesn't really matter to me, but I am going to look at Fresno State to see if Prince Philip Cato did in fact declare for the draft, or if the AI at Fresno State was able to keep him. I hope they were able to keep him. I haven't really looked into or found out if the AI make promises to draft guys. 4 players from Alabama. Prince Philip went to the draft. Number 1 overall pick. I mean, fair. If you're going to be the number 1 guy in the draft, you might as well. That hurts. All right, so Prince Philip goes. Ivan Calhoun also gets drafted 3rd overall. Imagine your favorite NFL team taking a running back in the 3rd round. You would need that guy to be a god. But to be fair, Ivan Calhoun, he was pretty good. Won the Heisman. Won running back of the year twice. He got 2,000 yards. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, so Prince Philip goes. Yeah, he's not in the Ring of Honor? That's insane. Add him to the Ring of Honor. Well, Alabama had 4 players. These are the gentlemen, including the kicker that I really wish I had right now. Engage Barnett. But let me go to Fresno State really quick as I scroll way past them. So Philip goes, Ivan Calhoun, Davion, round 1, pick 14, Edwin Cole, round 1, pick 27, Ramon Knapp, 311, Jace Fukita, 315, Brandon Brinson, he went. He was not convinced to stay. Round 3, pick 26, Samuel Pankey, round 4, pick 13, Gavin Fowler, 416. They didn't convince Colby Minor to stay, you idiots. Round 4, pick 23, Eric White, round 5, pick 8, and Jared Wells. Round 6, pick 3. All right. Any of these other guys I want to add to the Ring of Honor? Davion Sellers added to the Ring of Honor. In terms of overall, he's the best player we've really ever had. Edwin Cole was added. That's good. Ramon was added. Good. Jace, I don't think I'll put in there, but maybe the AI will. Panky, I don't think I will. Gavin Fowler was added. Good. Colby Minor, I think, had he stayed for a couple more years, maybe. Eric Wright was added. Cool. And Jared Wells into the Hall of Fame, no doubt, for his return ability. Man, Fresno State is screwed. Anyway, transfer portal. Hello. There's a lot of high 80 guys. All right, let's see at Fresno State who all transferred really quick. Only 4 players. That means they made promises to keep all of the cornerbacks that threatened to transfer. Good on the AI. That said, Brian Graves transfer. Why wouldn't you offer him more playing time? This annoys me. That actually does annoy me. Damian Pachenko transfers, that's fine. Gunnar McCormick, that's fine. Kane Doss. Why wouldn't you offer more playing time to him? That's kind of annoying. Anyway, Hall of Fame inductees are here below. Edwin Cole, Jared Wells, and Ivan Calhoun for Fresno State. Ring of Honor, as mentioned. Prince Philip has set the record book for passing efficiency rating with 170. Good on them. All right. Let us now advance to the transfer portal. Okay, before anything happens, outstanding offers. Yep, there's all my money. There's all my money. It actually was 15 million. It wasn't a glitch. Oh, I'm going to take some integrity hits here. I am going to take some integrity hits here. Okay. So we need money back. That has to happen. We need money back. So let me think about this. First things first, let me sort them by overall, just so I can look at some of these guys. I am not paying 1.37 million to a 67 overall. No, I'll take the integrity hit on that. We're gonna take a decent integrity hit here. Like this could knock us into the 70s. Terrell Stark, is he worth 500,000? Yeah, he looks pretty good. Okay. Brody Jacobson, yeah, he looks fine. 70 strength, 70 run block. That's okay. Rohan Lewis, tackling machine. IQ is good, but $1 million, I might come back. Felipe Grant, I mean, if I'm already getting Stark, do I want Grant? Or vice versa? Am I looking at any other D lineman? Yes. Edwin, no. Edwin's out. I'll take the hit. I'm just going to do this by position. Look at D lineman. So Felipe Grant, is Felipe Grant worth 400,000 more than Terrell Stark? I think honestly he is. But I mean, his block shed's only a 68. His IQ, though, is much better than Stark. But Florida is closer. What's the interest level? Oh, 100. Okay. Um, yeah, I think we revoke Stark. Keep that. All right. So position by position. Quarterback, are we looking at Eddie? No. Running back, are we looking at Eddie? Yes. River Bowens. 71 ball security. Really? And there is an argument to just take them off my target list so we lose out on them without so that would save me the integrity. However, I wouldn't get that money back for transfers, and because we had literally 1.3 million in NIL going into this, I have to do this. So Bowens is out. Any wide receivers, and that is a position where honestly I wouldn't mind some help. I don't need both of these guys, though. Avery Leonard, good speed, good catching, good potential. Jason Fields, worse potential, but yeah, it's I 1.4 million. Come on, give me my money. Cool. Tight end. I saw the JUCO guy. He's obviously staying. I can play him at tight end. I can play him at O line. 2.27 is a lot. Like this is something I need the AI to work on. Alabama is 1,800 points ahead on Michigan, and we're paying him $2.2 million. Like, clearly they didn't need to. So that confounds me a little. Offensive line. Oh boy. No. Give me the 1 million. Thank you. It does still say NIL remaining 0. Oh, we're in the hole. I didn't know you could go into the negatives with NIL money, but we are in the hole. That's the issue. The math isn't wrong. The math is correct. I just didn't know you could go in the negatives. Yeah, we're 25 million. We're 5 million in the hole. Okay. Brody Jacobson. Yeah, sure, he's fine. Any kickers? Pedro Pardo. Now, here's the thing, Pedro. I have a lot of kickers, but it's only 78 million, so sure. Linebacker, Rohan Lewis, like I talked about, he's fine. Corner, I don't need. Oh, boy. Cobb, no. Like I have too many corners and too many safeties. Win, no. Yeah, my integrity has dropped, I think, 8 already. Then who's this last guy? Christopher Bonds. I think I'll keep him because he's only getting offered less than 500,000 and he's got A minus potential. Safety, Jason Pinzon. No. No. Okay. Now that that's done, let me add all these guys to the target list. Is there a button for me to do that like in one click? I don't think so. Let me just make sure I target everyone. Are we still in the negatives for NAL? We are. Oh boy. Yeah, the AI really hurt me on this because this is what this brings me to 78. So I have 7 scholarship spots open and no NIL money to offer transfers. That kind of hurts. I'm gonna be honest. That that hurts. And even if let me look at tight end really quick. I mean, do I need the JUCO guy? Yeah, because I'd move Allison to. Yeah, even if I cut all of them. That gets me 6.2 million back. So plus get me very little. That would still get me. So that becomes 0.5. Yeah, I'd be at like 6 million. I need to commit one way or the other. Linebacker, do I need Rohan Lewis? Good thing this guy's redshirting. I don't think I do. I'm gonna take the integrity hit for Rohan Lewis, which is a shame. He's loyal and he's pretty good, but I mean the other issue is even if I get 6 million back, is that enough for all transfers? Here's what I'm gonna do first before I look at anything. I don't know why I'm looking at 1 star and 2 star. Um, would I be the leader? No. Okay. No, no, no. So that doesn't work. Transfer guys, I mean, I could probably get a lot of transfers, but the issue is the money. Where I'm gonna take the NIL hit. I can't believe the AI offered all the money. I honestly can't believe it. That it's insane to me. So if I wipe all these guys, that becomes a 0. I get 6.5 million. So is 6.5 million going to be able to get me 14 guys? I don't think so. So at that point, yeah, I think okay. So here's what we're gonna do. First, the races that I'm close in for the recruits, they're gonna get the best pitches I can. 680, my God. Okay, maybe not that good. You can get like a 456. You can get like a 428. Okay. The rest of these five I'm not touching. Then we're just gonna go for 7 players and hope beyond hope that we can just build a lead that is big enough. Like that has to be it. Um so that's going to be fun. In terms of positions that need, the only two I have written down are running back to bring a top running back in to balance with Conrad and Dixon. And then the other position is offensive line, just because I like our offensive line, but I think it drops off a little bit after the top guys. Other than that, kind of just open season. Like defensive line, we're solid, we're good, don't need to be touched. Linebacker, we're good, no issues. Corner, we are very solid. And safety, I have 90 players. So we don't have that many needs to where it might not have been the worst idea in the world to keep some of those recruits, but that also just helps balance the books in the long run. So I'm not that worried. What I will look at really quick is are there any, 3-star recruits or otherwise that we would be like close to getting? And the answer is yes. But the problem is they don't look very good. Yeah, looks like the answer to that is gonna be no. I'm really only looking to see if these guys have like a potential. He wants to be a star. Well, buddy, I got bad news. Okay, so let us look at transfers. at running backs. Okay, stars obviously doesn't matter. So we would be 900 points ahead on Rafael Guerrero, who is awesome. 96 strength, 87 ball security, get in the building. I don't even need to look at anyone else. I don't even need to look at other running backs because he is automatically going to be great. And we have enough interest difference that maybe I can get away with not offering him money. We'll see. I probably won't, but you never know. Offensive line. Oh boy, Dustin Wheeler's the top option. I'm only 400 ahead. Yeah. Not many O linemen want to come to Bama. I mean, we're already ahead on Keegan Woods, who's high strength run block specialist. That'll do nicely. That's about the end of the list, I'm afraid. Do I go for Dustin Wheeler anyway? I mean, I might as well. I have nothing to lose. So 10, I need 4 more players. Let's say your overall has to be a 75. And just who am I insanely ahead on? Answer, not really anyone. Bunch of running backs, a tight end, Johnny Ruin, who wouldn't be a bad option because I'm going to move one of the tight ends to O line anyway. So that also helps me in O line. Maddox Sims, I'm 300 ahead of him at tight end. Ooh, that's a good player. You ever look at a player and you're like, it's a good player? That's me right now. Efren Green, you are not as good as the other options. Adolfo Saunders, I already have a kicker. I think we're just going to take some walk-ons. I think we're going to have to accept the fact that we're going to be below scholarship and run with that. Because the other option is I just risk losing out on players anyway. And I think at that point, let's just prioritize the transfers. Okay, so we're going to offer all 4 of these transfers, 2 alignment, a running back, and a tight end. And they're going to get the best pitches I can possibly give them. And that's going to be that. I think just the NIL situation kills me. There is an argument that I renege on every single offer to these recruits and get 5 million to work with. But even then, we don't have that many transfer needs where I think that's necessary. I would rather bite the bullet now, invest too much NIL in these recruits, and hope beyond hope that we get all 4 of these transfers. I think that's where I'm at. So we're going under. We're going to be under scholarship, but we have to. That's insane. I didn't know the AI could go in the red. Heck, I didn't know I could go in the red. Who knew? Who knew? Yeah, looks like Mississippi State's going to keep up on Keegan Woods, which is a problem. Not being able to offer money is painful. That's so annoying. Yeah. I still don't regret um canceling offers on some of those recruits because A, they just had bad potential, and B, getting some money back is still good. But that's insane. Insanity. It's also insane that I have to take an integrity hit to not want a player that the AI was interested in. I would personally like that changed. Because why am I being punished? Yeah, we're not getting Keegan Woods. They offered money. It also looks like we might not get Dustin Wheeler either, which is a shame. I think we built up a good enough lead on Johnny Rush and Rafael Greer that we should be okay. So yeah, I mean there's a chance we get 0 transfers because of this NIL. Let's find out. Everybody hold your breath. What a what a disappointing. I mean, I have my video title for next episode if we don't get any of the transfers. All right, let's just quick reveal all the recruits. We assume we get all of them. And we do. Okay. So the good news is of getting all these guys is all else equal, we will have increased the overall potential by cutting a lot of the guys with C and D potential and bringing in lots of guys that are A minus, who will be better depth options than what we have. So before we even get to the transfers, that is a net positive. Now, firstly, running back Rafael Greer goes to Kansas. We were ahead. Let the record show that because of no NIL deal, we dropped by 470 points and we lost by 429. Offensive lineman Keegan Woods, we lose. And that one wasn't even close. Offensive lineman Dustin Wheeler, we lose. Tight end Johnny Ruan, if you will. We get, oh boy, we got one. We got one. Tight end Johnny Ruan. Welcome to the show. And the only reason we got him is both Nevada and UNLV did target player the whole time. That's hilarious. But we get Johnny, who I might put him at tight end, might put him at O-line. Who knows? It must also be said that I now don't really have a number one running back, and my O-line starters are now worse. But you know what? It's fine. We got our transfer. So there's the recruiting class. Recruiting rankings, we are the second best recruiting class. My Fresno State recruiting class, by the by, 8th. Let's see what transfers they brought in. A corner is going to be a senior next year. That's a good get. Why did you bring in a cornerback? Oh, Philip did graduate. Never mind. Okay, they just didn't go with the AI. Didn't go with Aaron O'Connor then. I don't know why they brought a safety in who wants to be a star, but okay. Running back Randy Nakagawa. He looks fine, but you're only getting him for a year. And running back Maddox Keys, wide receiver Winston Shaw, who looks pretty good. Okay. Let us advance. Okay. So about that money issue. 112. How many donor goals did they get? Not many. They missed out on a few. No Alabama offensive line earned All-American. Fair enough. Okay, so we have 112 million. First, let's pay the staff. Second, NIL. Now, I am on record at saying that the most NIL I really ever need is about 15 million. I'm not going to the max. That's not necessary. So, what I'm going to see I can do is can I get everything in here to max level? Yes, with an insane amount of money to spare. Okay. Well, in that case, I guess we're going to the max NIL, and we're going to have 13 million left over. Look at us balancing the books, as they say. Oh, to be Alabama and be filthy rich. Oh boy. All right. I'm still so stunned about the NIL being negative. Like I genuinely didn't think that was possible, but here we are. All right, so everything's maxed out, and we have 13.5 million left over to do whatever it is we want with it. Booster updates. I think when I scrolled through, we had 2 diamond and like 3 or 4 gold and a couple silver. Let's see what we have after this. The same. Okay. 5. Wow. Okay, so 2 diamond, 5 gold, 2 silver. That must be nice. All right, realignment is disabled. In this database, the SEC is cut into four divisions. My division is the South, and we have Auburn, Tennessee, and Vandy as our fellow division opponents. So we will play them every year. We're at Alabama, regardless of everything else. Mountain West, Fresno, still 9. Ugh, can't move them up. All right, schedule configuration. So first things first, any outstanding contracts? Doesn't look like it. So the only way for us not to lose money is to schedule guys that have 10 prestige, and of which course there's only 2. Do I face Fresno State in the first year? I kind of want to. So instead of Ohio State, let's dance with Fresno State. And the reason I want to play in year 1 is I'm really afraid the AI will wreck my team after another year. So Fresno State's year 5, or week 5 rather. Or do I want week 9? Hold on. I want week 9. Let's just placeholder Maryland. Yeah, okay. So Fresno State is going to be week 11 to close. That's a pretty late out of conference game. And so I think the week 5 matchup, that can be away, and I'm fine with it. Do I want Baylor? Because we can take the financial hit. So right now I'm just looking at like what would be an interesting team to play. I think North Carolina could be interesting. James Madison. I mean, we'd pop James Madison. Kent State, by the way, up to 6. Let's go. Schedule them. They'd kill us. Or we kill them rather. Yeah, let's do North Carolina. Let's do that. So home opener, or excuse me, home opener. I can read. Season opener at Notre Dame. Week 5 at North Carolina. And week 11 home against our former team, the Mountain West champions, Fresno State Bulldogs. Oh boy. So this is, I mean, listen, it's a tougher schedule than anything we had at Fresno State, obviously. I would almost liken it to the MAC schedule when we were at Kent State, in that almost every team in the MAC is on the exact same level, and then you have 2 to 3 schools that are just below it, which in this schedule's case would be Ole Miss, Vandy, Missouri. Ole Miss especially, they went 2-10. Oh my! How many coaches do you think get hired and fired during this span? Definitely a coach gets fired after this. Maybe a coach stays after bowl game, but then 6 and 7 they get fired. New coach would get fired after 2 years of this being bad. New hire looks good, then 1 and 11 probably gets fired, and then definitely wow. How many coaches did they go through? Wow. Hector Barnes had the best job. He had blackmail on somebody. You're telling me a coach at Ole Miss would survive through 2-10, 2-10, 5-7, and then a 3-9 later? Craziness. Craziness. Good gig if you get it. All right, but that is the schedule done. What was the half penalty for? Okay, so let us. Oh, weather impact is off. I didn't turn it off. Then again, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to because it started when it was in the season. Interesting. I don't know why that was off. All right. Let us advance to a new season. And I am excited. Am I still a little mad about the NIL situation? Yeah. But maybe, maybe that's how things are done at the tippy top, Maybe I just don't know. I have not been inducted yet into the SEC Alabama way of doing things. Which, to be fair, that could be legitimately true. Okay, position changes. First things first, I need to move one of these safeties to corner. Even though they might not get that much playing time at corner, like, imagine I try to redshirt Trevor Lucas. You think he'd kill me? Does he want to be a star? He doesn't. He would declare for the draft after 1 year if I do that. I fear. Because like the problem is I only play three safeties, and so right now that means like Paul Wilcox won't play. I think I move Wilkinson or Wilkerson rather. I mean he's the fifth corner. Like that's the end of the corner list then. I'm actually fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that because that means Wade, Bonds, and Terrell can redshirt, and maybe not Terrell, and we'd be kind of okay. While I'm thinking about it, should I move? No, because Frank's gonna redshirt. Never mind. Um, God, this linebacker room is grim. I'm so glad I brought in Rohan Lewis. Rasmussen is a 77 overall linebacker. No, I thought about it, but I'm like, eh. Any of you D linemen particularly small? No. Any linebacker particularly big? 282 for Reed Archer, but I need him up top at linebacker. Nah. Okay. Okay. Tight ends. Let's sort this out. So, in my head, I was redshirting Cade Baxter his first JUCO year. I think Javier Young is number one tight end without question. Tony Allison should be an O lineman. And then Johnny, yeah, Johnny can be tight end too. Though, let's see, 80 and 77. I mean, yeah, they would both be up there at O line. So who's a better O lineman? 72 for Tony, 74 for Johnny. I'll move Johnny to O line. I think he's fairly down the list. However, in terms of overall, in terms of blocking ability, like if the run blocking goes up by 3 and like the pass block goes up by 2, he's going to be ahead of a lot of these guys. So I'm not looking at the overall, I'm looking at the blocking ability. So that means I keep Tony Allison at tight end, which fine. Polk red shirts. Okay. Any of you guys receiving backs? No. All right. I mean, our running back room is bad. Like relative to best team in the nation, our running back room is bad. We need Conrad Dixon, one of Middleton or Jacinta to have massive overall boosts. We don't really have a succession plan at QB, unfortunately. So that would be we need to hit the QB in the recruiting because I can't. If I have to pay a transfer QB again, it'll be too soon. They're so expensive. And like Jesse Funk, I mean, sure, he's got really good speed. He's a dual threat guy, but like he can't throw the football. Emmanuel Cole, I think, could be solid, but not for us. And then Parker Porter is just not the solution. And even then, if Jesse Funk is the answer, we get him for 2 years and that's it. So, all right, I think that's all the position play changes I want. Can any of you kickers do anything else? No. Okay. I have 4 kickers, which is just insane. Santiago Baker is going to be our starter. I am going to redshirt Ty and Norwood. Pardo is going to be our backup, quote unquote, but he's likely going to redshirt anyway because I've never seen a kicker get injured in this game. That's where we're at. Okay, so 79 players, by the way. That's how far we're under scholarship. We need running back to get a massive boost in development. Everyone, cross your fingers, light some candles. Here we go. We need running backs. I need at least two of them to be a +5. Like, if one of them's a +8, I'm doing jumping jacks. Because if we don't get that, I think we're in serious trouble. I think we are in serious, serious trouble. Also, linebacker would be good too because our depth there is a little shaky. This advance. So, okay. O line's going to be fine. Mark, by the way, goes up by 3. His zone coverage is 122. His IQ is 112. Yep, I think it was worth it to keep him back, I think. I'm just saying. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Quarterback, gimme. Jesse +6. Okay. Okay. Maybe we have something here. All right, Sawyer goes up by 3. His accuracy went up by 5. IQ went up by 4. That's pretty good. Jesse goes up by 6. Arm strength by 9. Accuracy by 10. His IQ is still 70. That's shaky, but he could potentially be our QB for 2 years after Sawyer graduates. Okay. He's also dual threat and really good at dual threat. Okay. We could have something there. Parker Porter, his potential goes down, which I didn't think was possible. He is less accurate, but better IQ. And then Emmanuel Cole, the redshirt freshman, accuracy +11 is nice, but his IQ goes down, as does his speed, which is hilarious. Okay. That's pretty good for Jesse Funk. We could have something there. Running back. Oh no. Oh no. Swing and a miss. Every single one, swing of a miss. Not a single of my 6 running backs up by 4 more. Oh, we're in so much trouble. I mean, don't get me wrong. They have good ratings, but this is Alabama, and we're going up against the SEC. Like, Caesar Dixon, who is going to be my second running back, has a ball carrier vision of 76. Aaron Middleton, who's going to be my third running back, has a ball carrier vision of 78. And his strength got worse. Keep in mind he's a power back. Gage Jacinto, honestly, I might play Jacinto. Nah, I think my plan A is going to be redshirt Jacinto. And then I think, see if I do that though, I have no depth. I mean, the guys ahead of him are all young, so do I really care about his eligibility? Not well. His speed only going up by 1 is annoying. I'll figure that out. I think Elvis de Santiago, his speed going down by 2 is hilarious. I know these guys are power backs, but like, holy moly. Wide receiver. I have 4 wide receivers of 90 overall or above. Oh boy. Yep. It's gonna be fun keeping all them happy. I am going to oh boy, what do I do? What do I do? So many of these guys need a red shirt, but also they're all really good. Man, is Marvin gonna complain if I try to red? Trying to redshirt an 86 overall wide receiver sounds crazy, but okay, Sheffield can't catch. Chase is better. Hunt is better, yeah. So Marvin would be the fifth wide receiver. So do I want to burn a year of eligibility on him to be the fifth wide receiver? I don't really think so. I'm just going to try to redshirt him, and if he complains, I'm going to offer him more playing time next year because he'll get it. Because Thomas, Jaden, Roberto are all going to graduate. Hunt and Sheffield will have a year left. Tight end. Woo! Okay. Okay. So Javier became a much better blocker, which is awesome. Tony became a much better catcher and got insanely more athletic. His run block is now a 90, by the way. Cade Baxter, who I am still going to redshirt, um, has become much better blocker. Did his passing didn't go up by that much. See, he could be an okay lineman, but his strength is so bad. Patrick Hobson goes up by a little bit. Caden Polk. His potential went up 2 levels. That's not nothing. O-line. Huh? Okay, we're good. My O-line concerns have been placated by a +9 from Landon Haley as he just shoots up to the moon. 101 strength for the man. That's awesome. Really good games. Some of the low 80 guys are up to mid 80s. All right, Johnny, his strength went down, which I must admit for an O line isn't great. Not much of the depth guys developed well. Danny Gilliam, the recruit, went up by 5. Okay, I think O line is pretty good. We're gonna have a big gap after like our 6th guy, but other than that, no complaints. Kickers. All right, so Santiago, for the only year he's going to play, he got slightly more powerful, which is okay. And then Abraham High, who is going to be our starting kicker for 4 years after that. Hopefully, he gets pretty big gains. And then I imagine I'm going to cut like Pedro Pardo or Adrian, just cause let them play elsewhere. D line, ooh, okay, 6 and 7's up top +6 for true freshman Felipe Grant. His potential goes up by a level. He gets 11 strength to his name. Barely any defensive ratings went up. But you know what? Who cares? He hit the weight room and I respect it. Okay, Darren Pitts got some gains. Josue Michael got some good gains. Okay. I mean, it's not awful. It's pretty good on the back end. If any of these top 4 guys get injured, I'm going to cry. Linebacker. Look at these games. Look at these bad potential guys getting good games. Linebacker looks pretty good. A lot of guys have jumped into the mid 80s, which is nice. Omar McDaniel, after redshirting, his potential went down 2 levels, which is a little concerning. But tackling block shed went way up. He got a little bit faster too. Okay. Okay. Corner. This is a big one. Hey! Oh boy. All right. So Wilkerson goes up by 8. Trevor Lucas, pretty good. Jesus Frazier. Jesus. Let's go with Jesus. Jesus Frazier. Pretty good gains also. Manley looks good. Caden Carey. Yeah. Corner we're fine. My worry with corner will just come in 2 years from now. Safety. Rasmussen is the one that gets the big gain. He goes up by 6 to a zone coverage of 111. So yeah, these are our top 3 safeties. Frankel, redshirt, and Hector McCollum will be our bench guy. Mark, win the natty. We got this. That said, if we don't win the national championship, our integrity is like genuinely going to be low. Like, because our integrity right now is a 77 because I revoked 9 offers. So that's That's in there. Oh, so many players are looking for the draft. I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right, pretty good gains. I think really the only position of disappointment is the one where we needed it most, and that was running back. No one even got like a +4. I really like that Conrad got a big ball security boost because he's going to need it. But yeah, this is it's not great. I am pretty worried. We might be a very pass heavy team year one with Sawyer Cox at the gun. Which, to be fair, given this wide receiver core, I think that might be the good call to go kind of pass heavy. I'm still gonna stay run first just so we get the coach thing. But if we switch to pass first, I get the recruiter boost. That actually might be the move. For this year, we're gonna be a pass first team. I'm adaptable. It's a new school. So we keep our defensive coordinator, Kyler Cruz. So this is his second year with me. And obviously, we have a new offensive coordinator in Damian Ford, who was at Louisiana Tech, then San Diego State, our rivals for a long time, and then Virginia Tech for 3 years. So this is where the roster stands. Our biggest area of weakness outside of punting is our rushing skill, which is only in 8. So that's a little bit, a little bit worrisome. Just a tad. This advance usually takes a second. I'm impressed though with all these long advances. I've never dropped frames. Look at my little laptop. All right, one thing I did want to check really quick. Brian Graves, where did he end up? That's so disappointing. He didn't even go to a good school. His overall is an 81. I gifted Fresno State an 81 overall, A plus potential redshirt freshman with 82 catching, 84 route running, and they let him walk to San Jose frickin' State. He's never going to win games. He's their best receiver, surely. Nah, second best. They got a good guy in Colin Beasley. That's so annoying. He didn't even go to a good school. That's so frustrating. I am legitimately annoyed. All right, let's sort up this depth chart before I do anything else. So, yeah, I mean, this is the order at QB. Running back. I am going to see. It's really a question of do I redshirt the depth guys or do I get an extra JUCO year out of Gage? I mean, I could kind of do both. I think my plan A is Gage and Blake Howell are going to redshirt. I think that's my plan. And then Elvis is going to be our fourth depth running back. So he's probably going to lose a year of eligibility, but that's fine. I think between him and Blake, I'd rather get an extra year out of Blake. It's not a great running back room. Wide receiver. Okay. I am going to attempt to redshirt Marvin Wall. And my argument is very simple. He is obviously phenomenal right now. He would also be our fifth wide receiver, and that's not really worth it in my opinion. Similarly, Avery Leonard and Francis Mack are going to redshirt. And if all three of these men complain about playing time, I might just pay one and offer a better playing time to the others because 3 of my top 4, wide receivers are gone after this. So not too concerned about that. In terms of the order, Yeah, I think I'll take Jaden up top. It's a little bit of a speed hit, but I get a better catcher and a much better evader. Thomas 2, Mike Hunt 3. Well, yeah, he'll be 3. Roberto Chase 4. And then Adrian McNeil 5. David Sheffield 6. Sheffield just isn't that good. I mean, he's quick, but his catching leaves much to be desired. So, yeah. And then Julio Khalil is going to be our first wide receiver off the bench with Carson Tam behind him. This is bold. What I'm doing here. This is bold. Tight end. All right, Cade Baxter, I'm going to attempt to redshirt you. Please don't complain. Same thing with Caden Polk, and then I'm only going to play 2 tight ends. So, Tony Allison and Javier Young are going to get line share of opportunity. Offensive line. Do I redshirt Johnny? No, he would probably kill me. Okay. So first, I have 4 guys to redshirt, which is a little scary, but I think I can do it. Yeah, we're gonna not have great depth this year, just in terms of overall numbers, but it should be okay. Okay, O-line, let's go. Yes, definitely Alicia up top. Well, we're not a good pass blocking outfit. Actually, no, we're okay with pass blocking. Run blocking isn't our thing. Jamari or Landon, I think Jamari. Yeah. Landon over Jason. Jason over Damon. I'll put Mitchell over Damon. Johnny can be 7. Jeffrey Sims 8. And then the quality drops off a decent amount, but it's fine. D-line. Let us redshirt Felipe, Darlin, and Josue. So where does that leave me? I think definitely Charlie up top. Ernesto definitely 2. Curtis definitely 3. Our D line is in trouble after next year because we're losing top 3 and Diego. Yeah, I think I'll have Terry over Diego, but I could flip a coin on them, honestly. And then, yeah, Sean over Eric, and then Jorge for depth. Linebacker. Couple red shirts, including Rohan Lewis, who lost potential, I believe. Because I remember him being a B. Sadness. Remember when I said I was glad that we had him? Anyway. Okay, so we don't have a great coverage guy outside of Mitchell Grayson, maybe Fabian Boone. So that's a little disconcerting. It might be a heavy blitz outfit then. Reed Archer at 1, yes. Luis and Maxwell. Mitchell is 4 to get the pass block guy up there a little higher. Fabian is 5. Nah, Chandler is 5. 105 tackling, come on. Yeah. Then Fabian, and then Guadalupe and Omar for depth. Corner. Okay, so this could get dicey in terms of people just like wanting to leave. So having the true freshman as number 1 is very tempting, but Leon Wilkerson number 1. And then I think Trevor Lucas 2, Jesus Frazier at 3 over Keenan. Even though Keenan is better in coverage, I get a slightly better tackler and quicker corner at 3. I could drop down to 4 if I wanted to really maximize the top guys, but I do not want to. This is very unfair on Tony Milton, who for like the fourth year in a row is just never going to play. But that is what it is. Caden Carey did pretty good last year in coverage. Keenan got burned a little bit. That might be something to look at. Safety. Okay, first things first, 3 safeties. Gilberto will redshirt. Mark obviously is number 1. So do I want Rasmussen or Wilcox? Honestly, it's closer than I thought it would be with an 81 overall. I think I'll put Rasmussen 2, Wilcox 3. I'm a little worried that both Wilcox and McCollum will want to transfer, but that is what it is. And then kicker is San Diego Baker. Just in case there's no like shenanigans, I'm gonna redshirt Abraham and Aiden, and then Pedro can be the backup, quote unquote, but I doubt he'll ever really play. And I don't want to use up a year of eligibility with Abraham being the punter. So I think that's what we'll do. And then next year, Abraham will be our number 1 kicker, and then I'll probably cut either Pedro or Aiden to let them play elsewhere. Return specialist. So Thomas did pretty good with limited returns last year. Mike looks like Mike was the return guy. I think I'm going to give it to Thomas. I'm going to give it to Thomas and see what he can do. All right, so this is our depth chart. I think areas of concern really are twofold. One, running back is a position, not great. And two, we don't have a lot of depth at positions like running back. I got 1 depth running back, and he's a true freshman. Wide receiver, I got 2 guys. Offensive line, I have 2 guys. Defensive line, 2 players. Linebacker, I have 2 players. This is also a consequence of me cutting so many players, is a lot of those depth options are now gone. Don't get me wrong, I still think that was the correct thing to do. But the other benefit of having less like depth guys, benefit, the reason it's more okay at Alabama than at Fresno State is I don't think our backups are going to come in as much. But that's just me. All right, so with team needs, I think we have to look at quarterback. Even though, I mean, Jesse Funk could become, that starting QB for us for 2 years after Sawyer graduates. We should still kick the tires. Running back, I think we look only at the 5 stars and JUCO guys because both Jackson and Dixon are fairly young, so that's not really an area of concern. Wide receiver, I think we're okay. We got a lot of young guys. They need to get playing time. Maybe I look for like 1 or 2 players, but other than that, no issue. Tight end, now we're good. Offensive line, yes. Always look at O-line. It doesn't matter the state of the room. Kicker, we know we're good. Defensive line, I think no, because I like the depth in defensive line in terms of potential more than I do at linebacker. I think linebacker is definitely an area of concern. Defensive line, I see being a big transfer one for us because I'm losing 4 of my top 5 D linemen. I think that's a big transfer room one. Corner, I think we're okay. Safety, we have Alberto Frank. Hopefully he doesn't complain when we redshirt him since he wants to be a star. So I'm just going to put corner/safety and just sort of look at the defensive backs. Okay. So, talk to me about the 5 stars, guys. Daniel Payne, 87 overall corner. You know what, Ohio State? You can have him. Defensive lineman Lawrence Mosley. Now that is tempting. Even though I said D lineman wasn't a need, what's your potential, buddy? Ooh, get in the building. Wide receiver West. I don't think we need a top wide receiver guy like that. We don't really need a tight end. Kent State, number 4. Is he from Ohio? No, he's from. Why is Kent State number 5? You know what? I'm not going to ask questions. JUCO guy Leo Ball. That also might not be the worst idea in the world. O lineman Gunnar Keller. The pass block is a little shaky, but sure. Linebacker Nathaniel Goldstein does not have good potential. He is bad physically, not great in coverage. Get out. Get Bradley Levy. JUCO might not be terrible at corner. I'll add him and just see. Trent Butler. Again, JUCO guy. He could play corner or safety. Honestly, he's the get instead of Levy, I think. QB, Easton Atkins. What's your potential, buddy? Ooh. Add to the list. Yeah, and we're gonna be top on a lot of safeties just because of how good the room is. What's your overall? Nah. Eric Payne, that's yes. Whoops, I scouted him instead of targeting. Reynolds and Hines. Reynolds, welcome. 83 strength as a true freshman. Okay. Harrison Chalk. I mean, his potential is bad, but his strength's already good. His ball security is an A minus. That could be our running back of the future right there. Also, I'm seeing a distinct lack of corners. Or not corners, excuse me. Quarterbacks. Let us look at the quarterbacks. In terms of overall, what do we got? 82 JUCO, Anthony Burks. Yeah, it's going to be all JUCO guys. What I'm literally going to do is just add these 5 JUCOs and then the top 5 recruits, and we are going to send them all to camp. So it's going to be a QB camp this first week because I think the priority needs to be finding that next quarterback. Maybe he's already in our quarterback room. Maybe he's not. But that needs to be the priority. All right, so QB, we're looking at him. Running back, we found our guy already, no issue. Offensive line, we're looking at a few guys. D-line, I'm not looking at any linebackers. That needs a change. Let me find some linebackers. Yeah, they don't have great potential, which is what's kind of hurting me here. Hudson Dalton could be interesting. Michael Bonner, similarly. Dylan Holden, I don't think so. Mitchell Ford, no. Chad Hudson's a maybe. Alfredo Butts is a maybe. Okay, I'll stop there. Okay, so in that case, I'll just look by points ahead and give the best points that I can. It's also not lost on me. One of those QBs was only being targeted by MAC schools, which, firstly, that feels really mean if the guy actually turns out to be really good and I steal him from MAC schools. Oh boy, that would actually be kind of mean. All right, let us advance and see where they stand. I'm looking at wide receiver again. I actually don't think we need any. So I think in an ideal world, I can convince everyone to stay. Well, no, depth never hurt. I vetoed myself, and then I was like, on the other. All right, let's look at these QBs. Nobody else. Give me QBs. Give me potentials. Oh, Lordy. Okay, so on the JUCO guys, I don't care about potential. I really only care about ratings. Rao, we're 1,600 points ahead on these guys because we were interested. Raul Tyson, no. Dominic Hudson, no. Eduardo Charles, he is a cannon, but no. Drake Dukes, I think Drake Dukes is good, but no. The A plus potential is nice though. Anthony Burks. Let me scout him one more time. Two more times? There we go. I mean, he's really good. 69, 80, 88, 88, 83. 69, 80, 88. I mean, he has much better IQ, much more accurate, but other than that, they're pretty even. So that's the JUCO guys. What about just the high school players? All right, so for this potential matters, so sorry, you three, Moore and Nava gone. Trayvon Abraham, no. Zion, no. What's his IQ? A B minus turning into a 74 seems a bit silly. B minus is like an 80. Come on. Um, I mean, Easton Atkins is pretty much a worse version of Jesse Fung, who will become, maybe as good as him in 2 years. And is that worth it? I don't quite know. What's the interest difference? So Auburn, Easton is more interested in Auburn and Kansas State. Same interest in Michigan and Texas. Anthony Burks, he is most interested in us over Notre Dame, Florida, and everybody else. I think Easton Atkins can become a really, really good quarterback, but the question is it worth the fight? When Anthony Burks, I think, is going to be great without question. And he's more interested. Yeah, I think we're going to go after Anthony Burks. I think he's our QB of the future. And if for whatever reason he doesn't develop great or something happens, so be it. But I think Anthony Burks is who we go for. Okay. Now that that has been determined, let me look at wide receiver really quick. This I'm just going to look at interest because I don't need high overall guys. I need high potential, which it doesn't look like I'm going to get that much of. Xander May, you have a D plus catch. A D plus. My God. Yeah, not great catchers here. I'll target some and then just add them to the. He's going to be a speed demon. Yeah, it doesn't quite look like the best tight end or wide receiver class anyone has ever seen. Whoops. I wanted to add that guy and he was already on my list. Okay. Where else was I looking? Linebacker, that's right. F plus potential. Sorry, Alfredo. All right, I'll let these guys all attend camp so I can get the most information out of them. Okay. Has anyone? All right, let's invite the wide receivers to camp and then the guys that I'm least ahead on. Harrison Shaw, I don't care about his potential. Like, he's going to be a really, really good running back. So that to me is fine. Lawrence Mosley is a superstar. That helps. Hashtag analysis. So right now, we're looking at 8 5 stars. No, excuse me, nine. 9 5 stars, 2 4 stars, 3 3 stars. And all the 3 stars are wide receiver. Not too shabby. And again, we can have kind of a light recruiting class. I think this year. Next year is the year we need a massive recruiting class because we have so many juniors. That is my humblest of opinions. I also forgot to do the auto practices and the trainings for the week. So I shall now advance. All right, and that is where I will leave off. I want it to be a little shorter video to see how that does in terms of views and retention and so on. So thank you all for watching. I think the transfer portal obviously can only be described as a complete fail, but not my fault. The AI literally spent all of the NIL money. I think we have a really good team here in year one at Bama. I think the big question will be how will the running backs hold up and how will we do as sort of a pass first team compared to years previous, where my philosophy very much is run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. So we'll see how that looks. But thank you all for watching. This is going to be the last video that comes out this week. The next video will be early next week. So I will see you all then as we begin year one at Alabama, facing off against Notre Dame and then the SEC gauntlet. See y'all then.